as we've studied this extensively over a period of years, our biggest takeaway is this, and I promise you, if you see a church that has it, a business that has it, a school that has it, a nonprofit that has it, whatever, if you see any organization that has it, it is always led by a leader that has it. Every single time your organization is a reflection of leadership. If your organization has it, that's something special, that vibe, that vision, that momentum, the profitability, the ministry impact, whatever it is always led by a leader that has it. Now, what I want to do is I want to give you in this episode and the next episode exclusive content that is not found in the book. So if you get the book, you're going to get different content. I'm going to give you very fresh content that I'm incredibly passionate about. It's fresh off the presses, hot off the presses. I've been studying this. I want to tell you my research, the findings that we've discovered in studying the leaders who have it. What we did is we looked at cross industries, the leaders that have that something special that moves the needle. They've got respect, they've got integrity, they've got momentum, they've got consistent movement over time. And we studied them to look for what are the qualities that they had in common. And part of what we discovered, we completely expected. And part of what we discovered was very, very shocking and honestly confusing. So let me tell you what we did expect. What was not confusing is that these leaders that have it, they all have extreme qualities. Meaning when you look at them, they're not good at a lot of things, they're great at a few things. And these qualities are very, very extreme, like almost annoyingly extremes at time. And that's no surprise because we know greatness is always found in the extremes. Don't try to work away your extremes, embrace them because that's where greatness is found. That was not a surprise. Here's what was shocking, very confusing, is that these leaders that had it, they had extreme qualities that seemed to contradict one another. They would have one extreme quality on one side, and then they would often have almost the exact extreme opposite quality. It was almost like extreme opposing qualities. They'd be really, really, really on one side with this quality and then have almost this exact opposite extreme quality on the other. And I couldn't figure it out. It bothered me. It confused me. I looked at it, I analyzed it, and we saw it over and over and over and over and over again. Now, if you don't know, besides teaching leadership, my first calling is I'm a pastor. And so I went to look at the one that I talk about when I'm preaching sermons, and that is Jesus. And what I realized about Jesus is, guess what? He's got some extremes. And guess what else? He has what appears to be very opposing extremes. Think about it. Jesus, according to Scripture, is, on one side, he's fully God. That's an extreme. And at the very same time, he's fully man. Opposites and extremes, and they both coexist. What is he? He is the lion and he's the lamb. Opposite extremes. He's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. His teachings were extreme. He'd say things like, to find your life, you have to lose. If you want to be great, you serve. And so all of a sudden I recognized that sometimes those leaders that have it, they have what I'd call a leadership paradox. Here's my definition for leadership paradox. You won't find this anywhere else. I made it up. What is a leadership paradox? It's contradictory leadership qualities that together create a synergy of undeniable leadership impact. Let me say it again because it takes a minute for this to sink in. The leaders that have it, they often have these apparently opposing extreme qualities. It's a leadership paradox. It's contradictory leadership qualities that together create a synergy of undeniable leadership impact. As we looked at leaders, what we did is we identified 8 of these paradoxes. And I'm going to give you the 8 now. We're going to talk about 2 today. I'm going to tell you where to find information on some of the other ones. And then in 2 weeks, I'm going to give you the final ones. Here's what we discovered about the leaders that have it, these paradoxes. For one thing, on the extremes, the leaders that have it, they are simultaneously very, very confident, and at the same time, they're humble. There's confidence and there's humility. A second paradox is that they are very, very, very driven, strong work ethics, but they're also very, very healthy. Another paradox, they are focused, incredibly focused, and they're also very flexible. It seems like opposing, but they're both there. We'll give you all of these in the leader guide, so just please get that, and you don't have to take notes, pull over your card. Number 4 is this: the leaders that have it, they are both optimistic, they see the possibilities, and they're realistic. They tell the truth. Another quality that we see in many of them, not every leader has all of them, but most of them have some of these qualities. They're both direct, very, very direct in their communication, and yet they're kind. They have empathy. Number 6, these leaders, and I can't wait to talk about this one because it seems confusing and you may argue back, but it's very true. They're both empowering. They trust people. They delegate like crazy, and they're controlling. Well, isn't controlling a negative? Not always. They're both empowering and they're controlling. What else are they? Number 7 is they lead with urgency. They're urgent like crazy, and they're patient. They have both short-term urgency and long-term mindset.